All right, this is our Push to Emerald call. It is Monday, April 30th. It's crazy that tomorrow is the 1st of May. I'm going to share my screen so that we can kind of look at this together. This is just a little slideshow we have to kind of show, because I think some of this is a visual call. So hopefully it kind of makes more sense when you see it as I'm talking about it at the same time. So, this is our Push to Emerald call, and I'll say this again over and over. A lot of teams call this, Push to Emerald, but a lot of teams call this Emerald in 24 hours because you can literally get to Emerald in 24 hours if you want to. And tonight we're going to talk about how to get to Emerald and why it's so important to get to Emerald. So that's basically what we're going to chat about. This is a somewhat short call, but I want you guys to know that if you're on here live, you can definitely unmute yourself if you have any questions. Like if I'm saying something and it doesn't totally make sense, like for sure, unmute yourself, ask a question. I would, it'll make more sense if you kind of ask in the moment. Because the more and if all of this doesn't make sense tonight, that's totally okay. The more you hear this call, the more it's going to make sense. Like every time you hear it, probably one more thing is going to start to make sense in terms of, the importance of getting to Emerald. So let's get started. So basically Emerald is, so everybody comes into this business as a coach. And then your first rank goal, we should say, is to become an Emerald. So there's different ranks in this business. And the first one that everybody aspires to get to quickly is Emerald. And what that means is, so that's, visually you're pretending that this is you here as this Emerald symbol. And everybody has a left leg and a right leg. And basically, in order to get to Emerald, you need to have a coach sign up on each of your legs. You need to have a coach sign up on your left leg and a coach sign up on your right leg. It doesn't matter who those people are. They can literally be your spouse, your neighbor, your child's daycare teacher, your kid's babysitter, your aunt, your whatever. It can be whoever. And it also doesn't matter to Beachbody if they are going to actively work the business or not. They can be a discount coach, meaning they're signing up strictly for the discount. They can be a hobby coach, meaning they want the discount and kind of work the business a little bit. Or they can be a business builder like you and I are. It doesn't matter to Beachbody. They just need to be an active coach. So not only do you need those two people, but both of those people need to be active. Meaning they need to be ordering at least 50 personal volume points worth of product every month. So it's not enough. I mean, it's great to have somebody sign up as a coach, but if they're not going to be active, if they're not going to order something monthly, and it doesn't have to be Shakeology. Shakeology is 90 points, PV points a month. So it doesn't have to be Shakeology. If it's your significant other and your significant other doesn't drink Shakeology, you can order like extra products through your controlled business center, which is what we're going to get into in a second. So this is kind of going off on a tangent, but know that it doesn't always have to be Shakeology. It can be the performance line. It can be the beach bars. It can be, the 3-day refresh. It can be anything in order to get that PV requirement. So one on the left, one on the right, they both have to be active in order for you to be an active Emerald. If one of those people become not active, meaning like 1 month they skip their product, and you haven't signed anybody else up also on that same leg, then you're going to drop your Emerald rank. And it's important that once you hit Emerald, so not only do you want to hit it fast, but you don't want to lose your Emerald rank ever. And we're going to go into why that is in a second. So, like I said, one of the people should be on your left leg and one of the people are going to be on your right leg. Now, so I told you we have a left leg and a right leg. Depending on where you are in the genealogy of the team, so whether I'm your coach or somebody else on this team is your personally sponsored coach, will depend which leg is your weak leg and which leg is your strong leg. I can't just tell you like everybody's weak leg is their right leg and vice versa. It really depends on where you are in the genealogy. And so if this is something that you are looking to do as soon as possible, I can help you figure out and determine which one is your left leg, which one is your weak leg, which one is your strong leg. The reason why that matters is because we're hoping that one of these people, one of your two people to get you to Emerald, is going to be your controlled business center. And what that means is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to sign up somebody who's going to allow you to control their business. More times than not, for most people, that's their significant other or their spouse. It doesn't matter who it is, but you want it to be someone that you really, really, really trust, because you're going to be going into their account. You're going to be working their account for them or with them. So they need to be, willing to share their password with you. They need to be cool with you going into their account. They also need to be cool with sharing the income that you make through their business center with you. So for me, it's easy because it's my husband. We share a bank account. So, we both, I'm working his business. I'm going into his online office all the time. He helps me with the business. He does like other things, but in terms of like building and stuff, I'm in control of his business. So it's easy because every time I get paid every Thursday, it just kind of goes into our account. So if you don't have a spouse or a significant other and you're thinking of signing your mom or your best friend or your sister, they just have to be okay with, you come up with some sort of system for them to give you your money every week, or maybe once a month they send you, or they do like Venmo or something for whatever you make into their account, they send it to you. The reason why, there's a couple of reasons why you want to open a controlled business center. And there's a couple of reasons. So first of all, think about who's going to be your controlled business center, and then talk to your sponsor coach about where you're going to place them. We recommend placing them on your weak leg. We say your weak leg because your weak leg is where the team isn't helping you very much. That's why it's weak. It's referred to as weak because it's weak in the sense that the team isn't helping. So you're going to be putting most of your efforts on that leg of yours for your business. So we suggest that you put your controlled business center on that leg because a lot of your efforts are going to be going there. So your business and your controlled business center might as well be benefiting from all that hard work. Let me show you what that means. So let's say this is me, literally this is me, and then this is you right here. This person in pink would be your weak leg. So this is where you want to put that controlled business center, because if you can kind of visualize this is your weak leg because there's nobody else over here helping you build this leg. Whereas versus on this leg, your right leg, you can see that the whole team is contributing to the volume that's accumulating on this leg for you. Like this person, whoever they sign up, is going below you, and all their activity is going to work its way up to your business center, and anybody that this person signs up and any activity that this person does, that's a whole team effort over there. So you don't need to put your controlled business center there. Your controlled business center is better off on your weak leg, where you need more. You're going to need to be doing more on that leg because it needs to match all of the activity that's happening on your strong leg. I hope that makes sense. So why open a controlled business center? You want to open a controlled business center because although you're not going to see the benefits of doing this right away, over time, if you have that long-term vision and that long-term mindset for this business, that your success in this business is inevitable as long as you stay consistent, and that you are going to be here a year from now and 2 years from now and 3 years from now and 10 years from now, that it's the smartest move for your business, because essentially that controlled business center is going to be earning an income, and then your business center is going to be earning an income. So over time, you're essentially going to be double dipping in income by utilizing both of those business centers. Again, it's not something you're going to see overnight. When I signed up 4 years ago, I had no clue what I was doing, but my coach Annie told me to sign up a controlled business center. And so I did. I had no idea what I was doing, but I trusted her. I had that long-term vision for my business. I knew that as long as I, stayed the course and did what she told me to do, and I had that vision, I knew that my success in this business was inevitable as long as I kept showing up. And so I did it. And so I paid that $16 coaching fee for his business every month. Luckily, my husband is into the workouts. He drinks Shakeology every single day. And so it was easy to keep up with his business being active. But even if he didn't, there's definitely ways around it, and I can help you with that. But now, 4 years later, and it didn't just start, maybe 2 years into the business, I really started seeing the benefits of having signed him up when I did, because now his business center, Team Cycles, that's that residual income side of things, and my business center, Team Cycles. So like all the activity, you can imagine that this is me, and I signed him up on my left leg because that's my weak leg. So 4 years later, there's a shit ton of activity that happens below us. Like I've created a pretty decent sized team in 4 years. So all the activity that happens below both of us on my weak leg benefits his business center, and it benefits my business center. It's literally, we're double dipping for our family. We're double dipping income for our family. Now, if I hadn't signed him up when I did, I signed him up maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after I became a coach. Like I started getting my feet wet. I started learning the ins and outs of the business, and Annie encouraged me to sign him up. If I hadn't have signed him up, if I had said, I don't really know what I'm doing with this business, I'm not 100% sure, blah, 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 and signed him up 2 years later, that would have been fine. But if you can imagine all of the activity that has taken place in 4 years, and I had waited 2 years to sign him up, there's a 2-year gap where he wouldn't have been signed up, where there was a ton of activity happening that his business center was missing out on. But because I signed him up right away, we are both getting the maximum amount of residual income we possibly can, because he's the very first person I signed up on my weak leg, rather than waiting 2 years and having all these people sign up before him. And then he's going to be missing out on all that, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, the sooner you can sign up your controlled business center, the better. And this was going back 4 years. Now in this business, we encourage people to sign up their controlled business center like right away. So that's why you want to open a controlled business center. It's a smart thing to do. If you have that long-term vision, it just makes the most sense. And that's why you want to do it right away for like maximum benefits. Does anybody have any questions so far? If you do, just unmute yourself. Again, every time you hear this call, like one more light bulb will go off. Like every time you hear it, it'll start making a little bit more sense. That's why I'm trying to do these calls pretty regularly. So why hit Emerald? So going back to the basis of this call is getting to Emerald. One of those people in order to get you to Emerald is going to be your controlled business center. Hope that makes sense. Why get to Emerald in the first place? Getting to Emerald means it's a stepping stone in the right direction. It means you're building your team. You're literally doing the things in order to move your business forward. You're not going to get to Emerald unless you're signing up coaches. You're not going to sign up coaches unless you're inviting people to the opportunity and to be in your challenge group. And because, it's a snowball effect. You are committed to your journey. You share your journey. You invite other people to join you on your journey. They accept, they fall in love with the products and the programs. You're giving them the best experience in your challenge group. And then they want to pay it forward and they want to become a coach. And that's when your team starts to build. So, hitting Emerald, it means that you're doing what you should be doing in your business in order to move it forward. You are earning credibility, for yourself, for your team, for the rest of Team Boom. When you hit Emerald, you can start team cycling. That's the residual side of things. Like every Thursday when I have that free money post, that's what that means, team cycling. So when you first become a coach, your income is pretty much based on that 25% commission that we get for everything that we sell. But then as you're earning as you're leading a team and you're growing a team and you become an emerald, you can start to benefit from the team cycling side of things, the residual side of things. So like the commission is going to keep on going, but you're also going to gain the residual side of things. And so that's where your income is really going to grow. And that's when things get to be really fun. You cannot participate in team cycling until you're an emerald. So that's why you want to get to emerald, and that's why you want to get there fast, because as the team is growing, there's all this activity that's happening on your left leg and your right leg, especially whichever leg is your strong leg, because the team is helping you on that strong leg, right? So all of this activity is happening, and you could be accruing volume, but you can't unless you're an emerald. So it's like all that volume is going to waste until you're an emerald. Like you can't lock it in until you're an emerald. Also, once you get to emerald, you want to keep emerald, because if you drop emerald, then you lose those volume points. Because Beachbody is awesome. They have this policy where like if you don't use it, you don't lose it. Like you just keep accumulating all of these volume points, which is amazing. So like if you're not getting to emerald yet, but you've been a coach for a few months, most likely there's a lot of activity happening on your strong leg. So the sooner you can get to emerald, the better, because you're going to be able to like cash out on that team cycling side of your income possibilities. Does that make sense? So you want to get to emerald. Emerald's important. Do you have a question? Yeah, there you go. Oh, you're muted. Or your volume must be down or something. Can't hear you. Yeah, type it. If you can type it, I'll make sure to check the chat before we get off. And also, when you're an emerald, you get to participate in the free customer lead program. So you might have heard us talking about this here or there. So by being an emerald, an active emerald, and hitting Success Club, basically those are the precursors for you to tell Beachbody that you are serious about your business and you're taking your business seriously and that you deserve to kind of be rewarded. And one of Beachbody's reward system is the free customer lead program. So essentially every month, Beachbody pools all of these free customers who have ordered something or who have signed up to have a free membership that don't already have a coach assigned to them. Like maybe they just went to teambeachbody.com. Maybe they ordered like P90X off an infomercial while they were nursing their baby at 2:00 in the morning. Whatever, people who have ordered or who want to be a customer but don't have a coach already. Those are the free leads. They're in one pool. Meanwhile, Beachbody is pooling all the coaches who have hit the requirement of being at least an emerald and hitting at least Success Club 5 every month. And they've created this pool. And then every month they evenly disperse all of these customers, these free customers who need a coach, to all of these coaches who have qualified to receive these free customers every month. And so you essentially get these people who are coming to you for free. Like that, you don't have to form them, you don't have to invite them, they just are given to you. Now, it sounds awesome, and it is, but not all the free leads are accepting to help. They don't all want the support, and so I might get like 8 or 10 customers a month or something, but not all of them are open to it, and that's totally fine. The ones that you do get that are open to it are totally worth it and so awesome. You get free regular customers when you hit Success Club 5, and you get free regular customers and Shakeology customers when you hit Success Club 10. So that's a little bit even more of an incentive to hit 10 versus 5. When you hit Success Club 5 and you get like the regular customers, you don't get any commission on their initial order, but every order after that you do. Whereas the Shakeology customers you get when you hit Success Club 10, you do get the commission on their initial order. So again, that's another bonus to hitting Success Club 10. It's just another incentive that Beachbody does. So let's start right now. Number one, take a minute. I want you to write down 3 options. If you haven't already signed up your Controlled Business Center, think of 3 options you have of people who could be your Controlled Business Center. Now remember, these are people, someone you really, really, really trust, because you're going to be working their business. They're going to be sharing the income that you make that goes into their bank account. They're going to be sharing it with you. So it should be a significant other, a spouse, a grown adult child, a parent, a really close sibling, things like that. So think about that for a second. And obviously you can come back to this after we get off. I think I need to stop my share for a second so I can see the chat. Hold on. So we lose Emerald status if we only have 2 coaches and 1 drops off. Yep. So I need to keep adding coaches. So even if 1 drops off, I continue to, exactly. It's like, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's what you probably hear me talk about buffers. That's what I mean by a buffer. Because if you only have 1 on the left and 1 on the right, and somebody goes inactive and you don't have any buffers, you lose Emerald. So that's why you never want to settle for your 1 on the left, and you always want to assume people are going to drop off. It's inevitable. So that's why you want to keep adding to your team, keep adding people to the left, keep adding people to the right. So when somebody drops off, like, that's sad for them, but it's really not going to, it doesn't like ruin your day because you knew it was going to happen. It's inevitable. They might come back eventually. But yeah, you never want to drop your Emerald once you get it. That's ideal. So you want to always be adding those buffers. Plus, by adding those buffers, and if you never need them as buffers, they just continue to grow your left leg and your right leg, that's just getting you that much closer to Diamond, right? Because after Emerald comes Diamond. And you need 4 coaches on either leg for Diamond. So you might as well just keep adding to the sides. Yes, so Lisa, you have your Controlled Business Center, your daughter. Do I sign her up in my bank account as well for the direct deposits? Yeah, so she's not going to be earning any money quite yet. But yeah, when she does, so when I sign people under her, the money goes to me. I don't know if you can do that. That's a really good question. Like, I don't know if Beachbody will pay you for her. I don't think they will. Because technically you're not supposed to like work somebody else's business. It's kind of like a loop. I mean, every single top coach in the business does it. Yeah. So he and I share a bank account, so it just works. For someone who doesn't, I'd have to ask, I'm trying to think who on our team. I'd have to ask around. I've always kind of just assumed that, like if they were to pay Emily, she would like Venmo you, or you guys would work out some sort of a system that she would like pay you once. Like you keep track of how much you've made in her account, and she would Venmo you, or she would give you a check once a month or something. It's a really good question that I've just kind of always assumed that that's how it works, but I could be wrong. Yeah, because I'm 99.9% sure they're not going to pay her pay you for her, because they think she's working the business, right? You know what I mean? They don't know that she has nothing to do with it. That's why I always say, like, my husband does, and he truly does. Oh, Amazon's here. He does work my business. Like, he does work our businesses. He just doesn't do that part of it. Say I added a friend as why would they ring the doorbell? Amazon just dropped us something. It's 8:00 at night. What if my son was sleeping? That's stupid. Okay. Say I added a friend as my Controlled Business Center, and it started cycling. After a while, my friend wants to take over the business. Yeah, that's totally fine, because it's in her name. So like, sad for you that you lost your Controlled Business Center, but awesome that you have somebody working the business. You can always, say your Controlled Business Center, or anybody, decides not to work, so essentially that Controlled Business Center would be like a prime spot, right? So say she stops working the business one day, you can put somebody else into a spot. Like you could slide somebody into a spot as long as they've never, ever, ever been a coach before. So for example, my mom is a coach. I just pay the $16 fee for her every month. She doesn't buy anything, so she's inactive. But basically, she's just holding a spot so that when my son turns 18, he's going to slide into her spot because he's never been a coach before. So that's kind of cool. So like, because that Control Business Center would be a prime location for somebody to take over their account, like in that spot, because you'll have built a huge team underneath them, right? So that spot is like ideal. Yeah, so that's totally fine. And then in that case, you might want to sign up somebody else as a Control Business Center. It wouldn't be in that spot, but it's still better than nothing. So we always need, I mean, you don't have to, it's not like life or death, but it makes the most sense because like my husband makes a good amount of money every month just because of where he's placed in my downline. Like he doesn't hit like very rarely do I get him to hit Success Club and stuff. He just makes the residual side just because I've now, I take over his account and I've built his left leg and his right leg. So he's consistently emerald and he's cycling. If I know someone, oh, hey, Jenna, if I know someone who is a discount coach under someone else, let me read this again. If I know someone who is a discount coach under someone else, I believe is inactive. So once you're a coach, you can't sign up on another team unless you cancel your coach account and wait 6 months. It's Beachbody's policy to, what's the word I'm looking for? To not allow people to bounce around different teams because that really wouldn't be fair. So if she's inactive and if she's not using the discount, it makes no sense for her to be, and like she doesn't want to necessarily be on that team. It doesn't make any sense for her to keep paying that $16 coaching fee. So if this is the case, I would 100% recommend she cancels her coach account and then switches to you as a customer for the next 6 months. You can still add her to our groups and stuff as long as she's doing one of the programs. And then in 6 months, she can sign up as a discount coach. Wondering if that answers your question. If not, you can definitely message me. We can chat more about that. But yeah, once you're a coach in any capacity, in order to change teams or change like upline coaches, you have to wait 6 months. Cool. Do you guys have any other questions? So there's just 2 more things over here. Let me see if I can share my screen again. So it was think about who's your Controlled Business Center. Three options as your Controlled Business Center. Make a list of 15 people who you love that you want to join you. I'm honestly not sure if this is getting at, but I would think of both no matter what. If it's getting at like customers who could turn into coaches, but I think it's more coaches who could be one of your 2 to get you to Emerald. Like people that you want to be on this journey with you, people that you want to help get healthy and fit and help you in your business along the way. Like even if someone doesn't want to work the business, they could still, but they want to support you, they could sign up as a discount coach and, they could be using the products and the programs and get healthier and happier while also helping you grow your business and your team. So think of 15 people. And again, you can finish this once we get off, but think of that. And then when you're done with that, go to your calendar. Here, I'll pop up a calendar here. Think of your goal date, your goal Emerald date. Remember, I'm just going to throw this out there. A lot of teams call this call Emerald in 24 hours. Because there's no reason why you can't sign up your spouse and your neighbor, or your best friend and your sister, or your best friend and your aunt, or your cousin and your boyfriend. Like 2 people who love you, who you love, who are going to support you on your new endeavor. I signed up my husband, obviously, and then I think I signed up a coworker who was actually like she was just a discount coach, but she actually was, you know, interested in using the products and the programs and stuff. Yeah. So that's that. And going back to, so think of should specify here, think of your goal date, your goal emerald date, and drop it in the chat. I want to see it. Because all three of you are still working towards emerald. So definitely drop it in the chat. I want to see it. We're going to push you, hold you accountable to it. Going back to Controlled Business Center. Yeah, you want that Controlled Business Center to keep you active, to stay active in order to keep you as an active emerald. But if nothing else, you want to sign up that Controlled Business Center and pay that $16 fee at the very least to hold that spot, even if you don't plan to keep it active by like ordering something through it every month. So yeah, it's not going to help you to get to emerald, but it's the smart thing to do to at least hold the spot, like I'm doing with my mom. Because then when you decide to keep it active, you've kind of claimed that spot by paying that $16 fee. But obviously it's ideal to pay the fee and then to order anything extra through that account. So say you're getting your Shakeology every month through your account. Maybe you order Energize every month through that extra account. Maybe you order Energize in the beach bars. Maybe you order 3-Day Refresh like every other month, and then the opposite months you order the beach bars. What are other popular things? Like if you like the vegan Recover is coming out, that's going to be huge. Whatever, you know, there's a ton of things that you can order as extras, because whether you want to give them out as samples or you want to be, you know, you want to be a product of the product, you want to be using all of these products and have that experience with all of them. There's no difference between a Controlled Business Center and a discount. A Controlled Business Center is just the placement. A discount coach is just somebody who wants to get the discount. Awesome, Lisa. That's great. All right, Jenna. Definitely think you can do it before then, but we'll hold you to it. All right. That's it, unless you guys have any other questions. If you have any questions about getting to Emerald, who you can sign up, you know, where you should put your people, all that sort of thing, shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to help you, because this is definitely something you want to do ASAP. It's just a good, smart move for your business. All right. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.